Alright, what's going on, guys? We're doing Anurian Plaza, or Plaza, on the veteran mode. We have our level 10 starter here. Everything is maxed out. Towers, we have the artillery, the mausoleum, the Inferno, the archer, the harassers. Then we have our maxed out upgrades with the tanky reinforcements. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so starting off this level, the first thing I thought when I saw this level was like, wow, this is a really big level. And it is. There are two enemy spawn points and 2 checkpoints in a ring-like formation. It is a very mage-heavy level, so we're going to be starting off with an Inferno Mage level 4 on the bottom and an Inferno Mage level 3 at the top. And we will be mostly maxing out magic with a few sprinkling of archers later on in the stage. As you can see, our hero is just chilling out at the very, very top spawn point where the enemies are going to come in. We're going to clump them up and drop a good soul impact. Got a little bit of a reset. Probably could have got a little bit better if I waited a tad. But in any event, we are going to let the reinforcements make short work of these casters and just kind of stall things out. The first wave is pretty simple. And then on the bottom, that's why we needed the level 4 Inferno to kill off the chasers, the hermits. They're called Arumian chasers. I call them Hermit the Frog, but you can see those things die pretty quickly. And they have enough, this level's big enough where if something does slip past, you can potentially move your hero and take care of it, but it's ideally you don't want to let anything slip past if you don't have a lot of damage up top. So our hero is going to chill at the top. He's slowly moving his way down. And we are putting Inferno over at the top left hand. Gonna have your hero just kind of chill at the bottom. And deal with these guys as they kind of get clumped up. Make sure you don't put your reinforcements out of range of the Inferno because you want the Inferno tower to be doing something. And then I will put a archer tower right at that bottommost spawn point or tower point. That will be a very useful tower later on as we get some of the heavy magic resist guys. But for now, we're mostly relying on our mage towers. Okay, so pretty slow. We're going to upgrade our magic archer tower again to level 3. And hopefully our Inferno will make short work of these tanks. Don't want to let them get too far away. Right at the tip there, good job. And we called in the wave a little bit early. The guys are coming in the top now. And our hero's just kind of chilling out. He's going to probably end up chasing down some of those tanky guys. Actually, no, I just have him keep him down there at the bottom to deal with the enchanters. We drop the reinforcement at the top, and then we are just going to put a mausoleum and another Inferno tower. So if the enchanters upgrade the flying guys, they get a really big speed boost, as you can see. And that is a problem if you don't have a lot of towers at the top. And it only means that the Inferno tower is going to get like 1 hit. So you want to try to prevent that as much as possible. Now, over on the top hand side, we're upgrading our mausoleum to level 3. We have another mausoleum coming out. We really just want the DPS so they can kind of walk the gauntlet. I experimented with the archer towers, but I found the archer towers are just a little bit too weak. We need something that's going to do more damage because there will be some very heavy armor guys coming in later. Now you can see at the bottom we get introduced to these new type of spell caster guys, which basically store up charges and they shoot your infantry. And then at the top we have a new enchanter kinds, and they basically enchant their fellow soldiers and make them more difficult to kill. But fortunately, they're very weak to archers. That's why we have a little bit of archers there. And our hero is just chilling at the bottom, taking care of these frogs. I'm going to call them evil frogs. I don't really know what they're called. But they don't look happy. They do have a really funny death animation, though. Now, slowly building up our archer tower. We have a level 3 archer tower at the top, level 3 archer tower at the bottom. And I would just place your Inferno mages like so. Mausoleum is not really good when you get these roundabout tower formations. It's much better to have the Inferno mages. They get a lot better angles, and they tend to do more damage just per shot basis. Mausoleums are better when there's not, it's kind of a straightaway. You want to be careful. I think our hero, he ended up dying there. But they are nice and clumped up. We'll try to drop a Soul Impact at the bottom. And this is wave 5, so you have make sure your formation looks something like this. We have our level 4 Archer Tower at the top, and then some Mausoleums and some Inferno Towers scattered around. I would not invest in any upgrades for the level 4 towers quite yet. I would just focus on getting that damage out for the Mage Towers. Later on, we'll do a little bit of upgrading on the individual towers. And just try to pay attention to your hero's health. You want to make sure he doesn't just die, because he's better when he just swoops in and tries to stall out the enchanters. Now up top, we got to make sure while we're doing two things here, we're keeping our hero at the bottom, and at top we're trying to stall them out with the reinforcements, make sure they don't slip past. And level 2 Infernos on those top 2 checkpoints on the left-hand side. They will start to diverge here and go in this little fork. Some of them will go to the right, and some of them will keep going towards the top left. I put a level 2 Inferno over on the right-hand side at that little roundabout. And just kind of upgrade as you feel like you need to. You can see level 3 Inferno at the top left-hand corner to kill some of these guys. And a very nice clump up there. I got quite a few of them killed with that Soul Impact. Wave 7 could be a little tricky if you don't deal with the chasers, because if they clump up, there's just too many of them, and they will start to make their way to the final, to the checkpoint over on the right. So we're building another Inferno Mage right near the exit. And our hero died, so this is looking somewhat dire here. But we put on some reinforcements, and the Tesla Coil is going to help clear some of them off. And unfortunately, with the Soul Impact, we did quite a bit of damage, so we're just doing a little bit of cleanup. And our hero, I rush him over there, and I'm also keeping an eye on the top left-hand side. The tanky guys are making their way past. We get a level 4 Inferno at the top left, and we're just upgrading the Infernos at the right-hand side. It is a very tight level, but our Soul Impact came up just in time, and we cleared off a lot of the enchanters there. A little bit of help with the Mage Towers, a little bit of clutch on the reinforcements. It was a very tight wave 7, wave 8, but we managed to do it with that final Tesla Coil. And when you get in these really tight situations, make sure you keep upgrading your stuff. That's something that it's easy to forget about, and you just panic and you don't upgrade, but you miss out on so much damage when that happens. So we survived that wave, and from this point on, it's actually pretty straightforward. We should have level 4 Inferno at the bottom, level 4 Inferno at the top left-hand side now. And then most of these Infernos on the roundabout should be level 2 or 3. Now, some of the times, like you see the little static render towers, your towers can get disabled, which is not good. But it doesn't last very long, so it's okay. And I experimented around with these little eggs, which I don't think they do anything. So we get the Crystal Demolishers. Now these are the guys. This is pretty much the reason why we have so many Archer Towers. These Demolishers are just a pain to kill without magic. So we have to have such a heavy magic defense. Fortunately, they're very slow, so if you can stall them out with the reinforcements, they just get destroyed by the Inferno Mages. Yeah, more stuff coming from the bottom. And I just kind of have your hero walk around. Probably the tanky guys, I don't really like to have my hero stall out. I like to have a hero kill off the enchanters. And you can see quite the massive speed boost they get if they get enchanted. Look at that. But as long as we can keep them kind of in the area, we don't want them to get too far to the right, because then they can start to get out of control. But if we can keep them down keep the enchanters down at the bottom with our hero, we should be good. And the top, on the top hand side, they walk the gauntlet. of all the mage towers, and they die very quickly. The Demolishers. So going into wave 10, we're looking very healthy with that, except for that tight, very clutch moment there in wave 8 or wave 7. I'm just upgrading the remaining mausoleums. Most of our towers are level 3 and 4 at this point. In fact, I think all of them are. Yep, all of them are. The top is looking very healthy. The bottom, our hero is still chilling out there. Just plopping our reinforcements and our power as we see fit. Get a nice clump of enemies there. I dropped a good soul impact and got a decent reset. And I put a point into the corrupting arrow there. I think that's a fun upgrade to have, especially on if you can hit the enchanters. Just it's mainly small enemies on the bottom side and lots of like big enemies at the top. So we just kind of getting the corrupting arrow is a very cheap upgrade to get. It's kind of a fun one to do. And then I realized I want a little bit more damage, so I go with the mausoleums on the remaining tower spots. So I called in the wave a bit earlier there to get the reset. And we're looking pretty good going into wave 11. So I would keep your hero towards the bottom. I think the top side is, if you have a defense that looks something like mine, you shouldn't have too much trouble on the top side. But it's the bottom side you'll have to worry about because of all the enchanters. And the archer tower at the top is making pretty short work of these pink enchanter guys. They're very, very, very weak to archers. I bought all, as you can see, I did the full upgraded on the corrupting arrows and also got the crow's nest, which I think would be good because they have to walk all the way around the arrow, or the area, so it gives them a maximum amount of time to be in the crow's nest range. And they're all very resistant, or, well, the enchanters are very weak against the physical damage, so I think it's a pretty good upgrade. And so far, so good. We want to be careful that the enchanters don't upgrade or buff the tanks too much because you can see those bubbles are very hard to pop. And we'll need to stall them out a little bit. The guys on the left are getting a little bit too close for comfort. I drop a soul impact over on the right-hand side to kill off the pink enchanters. And if you can isolate the tanks, the demolishers, they take a ton of damage from the mage towers and they just die very quickly. You can see I prioritize, when I'm dropping my reinforcements, I'm prioritizing the enchanters over the tanks. Even though the tanks have more health and are kind of scarier, the enchanters are the real problem, I think. Now, at this point for upgrades, I would recommend getting the enchanting runes, because that increases the damage things take. And then you may want to choose the gargoyles, like I did at the top, as you see fit. If you think you need more stalling power, gargoyles are a really good option on the mausoleums. And then I like the runes as well because they increase the damage by so much. You can see the runes just doing work there on the left-hand side. And it's pretty liberal as far as what you want to do. There's no at this point, if you have the tower set up like this, I feel like you can kind of experiment with some of the upgrades. I'm just telling you the ones I like and I think work well here. Now going into wave 13, we get more of the frog enchanters on the bottom. This is why we have our archer tower. Try to keep them in range of the archer tower as long as possible, because that is going to maximize the damage these things take. And we're just trying to do a little dance here with our hero to keep him alive, because he will die very quickly to these things if we're not careful. And yeah, just lots of stuff coming on the bottom side. The top side, for the most part, is taking care of itself. You just have to pay attention. I think the challenge this wave is keeping an eye on both lanes and knowing where to drop your stuff at the right time. You can see this bottom right-hand side, they're making their way over to our checkpoint, so we have to be careful with that. And you can see if it's only mages, you're going to have a rough time, so you have to be very careful. I'm rushing my hero over to this side to take care of it, and we're dropping our hero power. And that was a dead frog. Look at all those pink things. Crazy. I upgraded the remaining mausoleums on the bottom side, so we should be good there. And there's a really nice clump up there. We're going to drop a soul impact and immediately call in the wave. And that took care of almost all of them. There we go. Okay, so 2 more waves left. We get a lot more chasers coming on the bottom side and the demolishers on the top, but the demolishers aren't really a threat anymore because they just die so fast to the mage towers. Nice clump up there on the bottom. We're going to try to drop a soul impact. We killed quite a few of them. I do notice that the pink things, the pink enchanters, they walk so fast too. That's a funny. It's like you wouldn't think this like a little enchanter, but they walk really fast. And it's deceptively kind of the dangerous enemy because you often have a lot less time than you think you have when you see those things on the board. Now, what you don't want to see is see how the pink enchanters are mixing with the demolishers. That is a problem because your towers will often prioritize the wrong enemies when that happens. So you have to be careful. I am hiring some more gargoyles at the top to try to slow them down. And I'm upgrading the Inferno tower at the end there, just trying to do what I can. I moved my hero now over to the top right-hand side and plopping reinforcements down. Just make sure you kill those enchanters. Now this is the final wave, so if you made it this far, you should be home free. Again, just to try to drop your stuff right on top of the enchanters. Let your mage towers take care of the demolishers. Our hero died, but it's fine. He's up for the final wave. Now there's a huge clump of stuff on the bottom side. We're going to try to stall them out as much as we can and get a good soul impact. And with that should take care of everything. Oh, you know, as I say that, they died so fast to the archer tower that it didn't even matter. So we just have the remaining stuff on the top side now. And they're kind of walking the gauntlet. We're going to just do a last-ditch soul impact. And now that the enchanters are dying, we have the demolishers finishing off. Should be pretty easy to clean up. Yep, they're not going anywhere. And possession, just for fun. Let's let these guys finish each other off. They can fight each other. Almost dead, and there we go. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you found that entertaining. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.